As all you guys know, the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers are ready for kickoff, and this game is going to be a great one. Here are my keys to the game for the San Francisco 49ers to come out on top. Wait, that sounded kind of bad. I mean win the game is what I'm trying to say. And my first key is that Dak can't be that guy who showed up last week. Because if that guy showed up in Levi's this upcoming game, the 49ers will lose. The 49ers secondary has looked a little suspect, except shout out Lenoir. Lenoir's cleaned it up a lot. Charvarius Ward now just wants to be the new Lenoir, which is an interesting move for him. I thought he looked better as Charvarius Ward, but hey, Lenoir's inspiring everyone out here. But my main key to keeping Dak from going deep and beating the 49ers is the front four need to hit home. And Bosa really needs to have a strong game against the rookie that's starting over Peters. Another thing that's very important is that Omenihu keeps playing at a high level. And if you remember last year, he also played at a high level, so I have a high hope in Omenihu. Another thing that would really help the Dallas Cowboys not gain any momentum is Javon Kinlaw and Eric Armstead shutting down the middle from the running lanes. I know Zeke is not a great player, but Pollard is pretty good and he can hit those holes pretty hard. He's probably more of an outside runner, but I think that by stopping the inside, those players on the back end like Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, and Azeez will be able to clean up any of that stuff leaking out to the perimeters. And I know there's a lot of hatred for Javon Kinlaw right now, I feel like, but to be honest, he's the best run stuffer interior they have outside of maybe Eric Armstead. The rest of the guys are just pretty quick, and they beat the players not necessarily with their size, but just by being so quick. Javon Kinlaw is able to take up multiple bodies, which helps the back level not get hit with as many bodies. It really just helps them stay clean, thus they're able to make the tackles in the run game and then slow down the Dallas run game is why I've envisioned. And please, Dallas, just rely on Zeke this game, hopefully. That's why I'm hoping. Zeke is not what I thought he was at his start of his career. He's fallen off is how I feel. But Pollard, like I said, is a good running back. I wonder what they're going to do in the wide receiver side though. What I would do, even though I just kind of talk smack about Charvarius Ward, I'd have him follow the main wide receiver over on Dallas, CeeDee Lamb, and then Lenoir could take care of whoever's on the opposite side. So probably that would be T.Y. Hilton, I guess, is their biggest thing. And I think that the 49ers have a lot more weapons on their side of the ball. Really, all Dallas has is that tight end, CeeDee Lamb, Pollard, Dak, and then also, I guess, Hilton, if you want to include him. Schultz is the tight end's name. But we know that Dak in the past in playoffs and big situations has crumbled. Last week, he really rose to the occasion. But I just wonder how much the traveling that Dallas has done is going to affect him. I mean, they traveled so much recently. And to be honest, if you guys remember last year, the 49ers fell off towards the end and were just dying out because of how dead tired they were. Imagine if they had more home games towards the end or even got a bye or something like that. They would have probably been a lot more rested. Probably would have beat Rams, honestly, if they had more rest and more time to prepare and just feel more rested. I feel like that would have been a huge factor. Maybe that's something that comes in play during this game versus the Dallas Cowboys, but maybe this time the San Francisco 49ers are on the better side of it. I mean, even this week alone, Dallas has 2 less days. And this is something else I'm kind of concerned about, is DeMeco Ryans had 4 head coaching interviews. I told people that some of the interviews he was meeting with, which he said last interview, he said some of the interviews were in person, some of the interviews were through Skype, some of the interviews, it just kind of depends. So I just want to point that out because I get so many people saying they're not in person, they're in Zoom, and it only takes 20 minutes to do them. You know how long it prepares to prepare for an NFL head coaching job interview, and that is a life-changing thing for anyone's family or anyone, regardless if you're a player in the past or not. I think that there was so much effort that DeMeco had to put into these, and maybe that's what he did earlier in the year towards the end of the season. I don't know how he laid out his time. Maybe he was like, okay, I know that these guys want to interview me. Maybe they told him. So he started saying, okay, going through the team, saying how he would run the team if he got there and all that stuff, because it's not just okay, hey DeMeco, how are you? We're friends, right? It's a super in-depth process where they have to break down every single thing, and the other team's going to be like, okay, what do you think about this player? And it's going to be like the second string linebacker, so you have to know the roster pretty thoroughly know what you would do to it, what your plan would be, how you would spin your draft choices. Who are you going to bring in for DeMeco as your offensive coordinator? Who are you going to bring in? All these things must be answered, and it really is a challenging process, and a lot of mental power goes into it. So that just is kind of what concerns me about the 49ers defense, is that we saw him fall off recently. Maybe that was because earlier maybe DeMeco was focusing on his head coaching responsibilities, or not responsibilities, but interviews, I suppose. And that's why I look at this game a lot as a prove-it-type game for DeMeco. Hey DeMeco, how are you able to handle the pressure of a head coaching interview and preparing for the Dallas Cowboys, who just lit up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? But let's get focused on the offensive side of the ball, because we know that Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers offense is going to have to put up some considerable points, especially if Dak played like he did last week. So the first key in this game is run the ball. The Dallas interior isn't that strong against run. They're really more built to get up high in the pass rush you, hit you hard, and then they have those ball hawking corners. I mean, Diggs is probably my favorite out of the bunch back there. But to go further, I'd say what you want to do is get some outside runs to Debo, Christian McCaffrey, and then mix in Mitchell on the interior. But you can even run probably CMC up the interior, which you're going to see a lot of. And then you're going to also see the corners not being targeted, I don't think, as much. I think what's going to happen is that the interior of the field is going to be targeted. The linebackers for Dallas are good against in certain situations, I suppose, but they're not very great at covering the pass. They're not the best pass defenders in the league. And I mean, most linebackers aren't. And that's where Brock Purdy honestly thrives. So if you're able to set up the run and do some play action passes and really attack the seam of the defense, maybe with Kittle running a seam route, or even Christian McCaffrey running a little angle route out of the backfield, that'd be something that the 49ers can really hit early on in the game and really build the confidence of Brock Purdy. And upon building this Brock Purdy confidence, I think that Kyle Shanahan is going to air it out. I don't know why, but Kyle Shanahan is on a different level right now with his confidence. He feels like Brock can do anything, I feel like. I mean, last game he came out and was like, all right, yeah, Seattle, we could just run it. But what we're instead going to do is put it in a rookie QB's hands to win us the game, and, you know, put him in kind of challenging situations to start off the game. It was raining, and you know your rookie quarterback is going to have some nerves, but he's like, don't worry about it. We're going to try to bomb it immediately, which, I mean, the play was open, so props to Shanahan. Brock just needs to hit that in this game and not get those rookie nerves we saw a little bit of at the start of last game. That's something that I really want to see eliminated out of Brock Purdy's game. I'm acting like Brock Purdy's not a great quarterback. You know, you have to make it interesting, okay? So Brock Purdy needs to eliminate his rookie jitters out of his game, because it's unacceptable for Brock Purdy to be a rookie, and I rank him the 15th worst quarterback in the NFL. Psych! He's the greatest quarterback of all time! And you guys can't say anything except hate on me in the comment section, which I encourage you guys to do. And please subscribe to my video, like my channel. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving. I'm just super appreciative.